Much of internet marketing is based upon words that are used to search for and describe things. So much so that just knowing and understanding the best keywords for your product or service can mean the difference between success or failure for your company's online marketing efforts. A keyword is a term that may describe your product or service, or a problem or a solution, a feature or a benefit, or some other subject, or in some way capture the essence of a topic. It's more important to know that a keyword, as used in the world of search engines and internet marketing, does not only refer to one descriptive word, it more typically refers to several descriptive words. Keyword phrase would be more accurate, but keyword is a term that has become popularized. Although this may seem like a very simple concept, because it is, there's a bit more that is even more important to understand. A better keyword or keyword phrase is more useful if it is more narrowly focused on the topic at hand. And that usually does require more than one word. Let's look at an example. Say you're a photographer. If you were to consider what the best keyword might be for your business, you might likely think photographer. Now let's consider the term wedding photographer. Okay, that narrows things down considerably, but it is still quite broad and will yield too many results. For example, John and Mary Smith in Topeka, Kansas are not likely that interested in wedding photographers in New York City. So if you consider your own internet search habits, you are likely to recognize that you are continually narrowing your search to find what is most relevant for your needs. And that's what others do too. In the example of John and Mary Smith, they may finally find the photographers they want to speak with by searching for professional wedding photographers in Topeka, Kansas. They might even narrow their search further by including the words digital, or black and white, or video, or inexpensive, or award-winning, or any other words that they might want to use to qualify what they're looking for. The point is that any photographer who is paying more attention to these expanded keywords and is making their website more search engine friendly for those words is going to reap much more of the benefits of natural search engine traffic than a photographer who is not. Here's a different kind of example. Suppose you sell motorcycle parts and you ship them all over the country, so location is not a limiting factor. If you do some keyword research for motorcycle parts, you will find that it's a very popular term and it's very competitive, which means there's a lot of websites that feature that keyword. In other words, it will be harder to get your web pages to rank near the top of that search listings. However, with some keyword research, you may find that the keywords Harley-Davidson motorcycle parts and BMW motorcycle parts and Honda motorcycle parts are popular and somewhat less competitive. You might even find that motorcycle parts and accessories gets a lot of searches but is considerably less competitive. So what do you do? Well, at a minimum, you should create some web pages that are focused on each of those keywords that are less competitive. One more example. Let's say you're thinking about writing a book or an information product on horses or horse training because you know a lot about them, but you're not sure what particular area to write about. By doing some keyword research, you might find that all the top keywords on horses are very competitive, but that dancing horses gets a lot of visitors and yet has a lot less competition, which means it'll be easier to develop a product and rank higher for that keyword, and therefore sell more books. So you might decide to take your knowledge about training horses, which is also extremely competitive as a keyword, and write a book about the subject that includes relevant information on dancing horses. One could even create a title that includes both the highly competitive and less competitive keywords, such as, dancing horses, master tips about training horses. So how does one find the most relevant keywords for one's business? Keyword research. Keyword research involves taking advantage of tools, both free and paid, that can help identify which keywords are being used most for any given topic, as well as which related keywords are the most relevant to a topic. Taking the photographer example a little further, a professional wedding photographer who is attempting to make his or her website more friendly to search engines might find that there's a lot of searchers that use regional descriptors or county qualifiers, in which case the photographer who is savvy with internet marketing would want to include some references to those in his or her website. For example, he or she may have an article on best outdoor wedding photography locations in Orange County, Florida for bride and groom portraits. That's a long title, but titles are an important signal to search engines and visitors as to what the content of a page is about. That example would represent a keyword-rich title as it covers wedding photography, Orange County, Florida, bride, groom, and portraits. Compare that title to one that says best portrait locations or best locations, and you can get the idea of why some pages rank better in search listings than others. However, this subject of search engine optimization is much more involved. To find out more about keywords as well as search engine optimization, visit skyworksmarketing.com and click on free to sign up for my newsletter about online marketing called Skyworks Orbit.